Well, hello there guys, welcome back to another battle here in Decisive Campaigns Barbarossa. I can see that you guys are already pulling straws to see who's going to be correct in terms of seeing whether or not I'm actually going to be able to complete this campaign or win. I highly doubt it. That being said, I would like to see if I can actually go ahead and get close to a victory, or at least as far as the Germans got during the war. So we are going to start moving some guys forward, of course. Over here in the north is where we're getting a lot of resistance that we didn't expect. And in fact, I'm going to be moving the Golf Division up here to see if we can hit these guys. I don't think we can, but I'm going to try anyway. We can hit them with the Golf Division, which 51 of 200, probably not the greatest odds, but this is a strong division, and I'm confident they can at least get them to retreat. Sure enough, it worked. We also got a lot of tips of players, etc. of this game that basically gave me some advice on how to approach the game and how to do better. So I'm going to try to follow that advice, but we'll see how it works, guys. So we'll go ahead and attack this unit right here. We want to try and surround the unit as best we can, but also provide some attacks and try to get it up to 200, but not above 200. Doing that basically wastes our men and manpower, and that kind of makes sense. So right now we're just going to be pushing forward here on the positions we know we can get a hit on. Let's go ahead and hit this unit here. 2 units. Seems good enough, but we could obviously do better. And sure enough, we broke that Soviet unit, so that's pretty awesome. I want to move forward, of course, but each time we move forward, we're moving farther away from our generals. And from what I understand, it's definitely good to have your generals fairly close to your men. So I'm going to take this 4th PG, or what about the 18A? This is the general we really need close by, and I'm moving him right there. Of course, it's always better to have these generals in a town setting. That's where they get, I guess, the most, or they're the most useful anyway. Let's take this tank here, and with the tank, I really want to get behind the enemy here, but cutting them off at this point, we're just going to get ourselves into more trouble. So I'm going to go ahead and go straight for the HQ. I'm going to take this Panzer as well and go straight for the HQ too. And these Panzer units are definitely heavy units. I think the more guys we can get on this front to attack and destroy the enemy, the better. So let's go ahead right here, first of all, list some attackers and try to get that up as close to 200 as possible. See if we can destroy this tank, and sure enough, a Soviet tank unit completely destroyed near Kaunas. I'm also going to be moving, in fact, just the tank unit forward. I might also move these infantry units forward, although I'm not sure if they're going to be able to do much damage to the enemy. Let's hope they can. And we're definitely going to be going north to Kaunas, or north of Kaunas, I should say. We're even going to try to take out these Soviets directly in front of us here. So let's see if we can get a hit on them. Might be that we've already used up all our attacks, but it looks like one of our tanks can actually roll through, and why not? We like to hurt these guys as much as possible. We broke one of them, forced another to retreat. Pretty good deal, if you ask me. What about these guys here? Oh yeah, baby. Get up to close to 200, and I think we can completely annihilate that unit. Absolutely. Now, one thing we should do, definitely start moving our guys up to the front. I'll assist with the tank, and apparently we might be able to get another attack in here, guys. I'm not 100% sure on that, but we're certainly going to try, and we're going to hit this unit right here that's already been damaged quite a bit. If anybody knows, by the way, how to get a precise count of how many of the enemy we've killed in terms of total numbers, I'd love to get it. I know, for instance, after the battle, you get this awesome textual screen where you get to see how many of your own men died. In this case, we lost 200 heavy infantry, but we killed 2,200 of the enemy and destroyed a bunch of stuff. But I'd like to see a total number. So if somebody can point that out, please do. We will keep moving forward. We've got a motorized company here, actually. And they might definitely be able to hit the enemy motorized company here. Sending in a tank as well. Why not? Pretty nice, guys. So there we go. Broke the enemy motorized unit completely. And let's see if we can't do some damage with our tank divisions. Of course, we're going to move this infantry up. As for these other tank divisions and infantry divisions, I'm going to focus on this line right here. We also can't forget about the Das Reich division. These guys are tough, but I think just with one unit here, we can probably destroy these guys, and sure enough, they are broken, and broken for good. Over here, we'll continue the attack, but we don't want to use all of our men here. In fact, we only want to get that up to 200, and even that might be pushing it. 216 is enough. We've made that very obvious, or I should say my users have. You can see the enemy unit panicking, and of course, this means we can keep on moving forward. I don't want to get that general too close, though, so I might leave him here in town. In the meantime, though, we're going to keep trying to hit the enemy as much as possible, especially if we can get a good result. Obviously, there, not the greatest result in the world. But let's go for the 53rd Infantry Division here. List 3 attackers, of course. 214 of 200, that's what we're looking for. And actually, they retreated, but they seem to be a pretty strong unit here. And I think we're going to go ahead and keep on moving if we can. If not, fair enough. I'm just going to take this one general, put him in Bialystok, and take the rest of his men and move them up to where the Das Reich division is. Try to hit this tank division, of course. And we can send a lot of guys in. So we'll send in the Das Reich, we'll send in this wonderful cavalry unit, and maybe a few more infantry. And actually, that's kind of pushing it. 186 of 200 is definitely sufficient. So that's what we're going to keep it at. And we can also go after the Soviet HQ. Then again, I think I want to keep going after that Soviet tank division. So we might hit him again. Let's go ahead and do that. This time with just the cavalry and the SS division. Sure enough, managed to make them retreat again, but it was a nasty fight. We just want to keep that going, guys. Let's see if we can get that, actually, Das Reich division to move into that rail station, because I want to cut off all of the support that HQ is getting. Let's go ahead and see if we can attack that HQ. Oh, yes. We're going to go ahead with the Das Reich again, and this time we're definitely sending in some tanks, and even this damaged Panzer Division unit. We can go up to 400 with this attack, so 360 of 400. We've got them cornered on all sides. Let's go for a major assault. Oh, man, that is looking really nice. Obviously getting the general to retreat, but I'm still not totally happy. I want to make sure that we attack on all fronts. So let's get this guy forward too. Got a lot of infantry here that can go ahead and smash this unit. Let's go ahead with just infantry at this point. And 256 is a bit much. 183 I think is enough. Doing pretty damn well so far, guys. Now, of course, we're not going to stop there. We will keep on moving forward. So let's grab that. And I'm going to go ahead and hit that tank division, try and wipe it out. Got plenty of men capable, and I think tank is going to work better versus tank, but as some people noted, it's probably better that we don't waste all of our tank divisions this early on in the invasion. Then again, panicking or breaking an enemy tank unit, I consider that a pretty big victory, so I'm not too disappointed with that. Of course, now we're leaving Fortress Brest open. We're going to move in some infantry here and try and finish off the rest of these Soviets near Brest. 1, 2, 3, perfect. Very happy infantry divisions. And enemy is retreating and panicking and also looking pretty worse for the wear. Now, of course, there's a massive group here of enemies that are basically just stuck together. A lot of them retreating, a lot of them just basically trying to hold the line. We're going to go in with these 3 infantry divisions. Let's hope they can win some glory for the Reich. But there's a lot of men there. But look at that, incredible. They managed to break them. They really managed to do quite a lot of damage, all things considered. So we do have to take a look at these guys. The 168th Infantry Division, as well as a few more. Definitely some really strong fighters here. But we've got some more issues over here, guys. Of course, we'd want to take Rovno. And, excuse me, I do want to go ahead and just go straight for Rovno. Basically just cutting off the entire pool there. And let's take our infantry. Move them south. Same with these guys, move them south. Basically, we're trying to close this city in from any support at all. So as you can see, we're cutting them off everywhere, or at least trying to cut them off everywhere. Let's move some of these infantry closer to the center here. In fact, quite a few closer to the center, because that's a position I want to absolutely smash. So let's go for the motorized guys. I'm going to go ahead and list some attackers. Oh my goodness, we've got a ton. We can get up to 300, so we'll definitely take some more. But some of these guys are pretty badly damaged, so I hope they can recuperate a bit. Let's go ahead and attack. Major assault here. And this might be where the enemy is actually the strongest, but that's not stopping them from falling back. And no wonder they had so many men here. Those are just major rail lines that they could obviously use against us. Let's see if we can list some more attackers. And these guys are pretty badly beaten, but I'm hoping they can deal with a cavalry unit, and sure enough, they broke it easily with little to no fight whatsoever. These guys can probably also break this cavalry unit. Let's go for it as well. 1, 2, 3. Perfect. I think enough to at least panic it. And it retreated. I was hoping for panic, but I'll take retreat. Some of these units are Slovakian units, but I trust that they can do a good job. So we're going to send them forward as well as the rest of these German units. And I want the 17A general here to get a little closer, because obviously he could provide us with some help in attacking these guys. Let's see if we've done some damage here. Nope, but we certainly can. We're going to bring in another SS division. This one is the Viking division. And I obviously just want to bring in the strongest guys. We can get up to 400, so we're going to use the whole group here and hopefully smash these Soviets. Look at that. Pretty nicely done. Now, as you can see, the enemy is stuck here, and I believe... well, maybe not. I was really hoping we could get in there and cut off the rail lines. Almost, but not quite. And the Viking division could probably get in there and do some more damage, but I think we're going to leave them there for now. We've cut off enough areas from the enemy. We've obviously got this area over here with our Hungarian friends, and I do want to try to bring them as much support as possible, and actually, sorry, our Romanian and Hungarian friends. So I'm going to bring in some more support, try to destroy all of these Soviet tank divisions. Bring in that Hungarian tank. He's been doing really well, or sorry, Romanian tank. Apologies. And let's attack. Once again, he's retreating, pulling back, beautiful. But I don't want to go too crazy here. I want to make sure that we stay pretty safe in terms of our attacks. We don't want to push this line too much. We just want to probe it and basically try and damage the enemy, but not necessarily push all the way to Odessa immediately. That being said, we definitely do want to push to Odessa out at some point. So I am going to start moving some more Romanian units forward, and we're going to try to hit this massive group here. And this is a massive group, so we're going to go ahead. I hope we can get more. Yes, we can get up to 300, but it looks like 300 is going to be the limit. So we're sending in purely Germans here. We're going over just a little bit while our Romanians hold the line, and the Soviets are retreating again, closer to Odessa. Of course, we're going to move our men up, move some supporting divisions up as well, and just basically keep on pushing on that line. In fact, with these guys, I'll keep them right here. I don't think this would be a wise attack, but we'll see what we can attack with. Actually, we might be able to get a really nice attack here. So we're using our Germans again. Wait a minute. Might be able to get up to 300. Nope. And once again, our Romanians are just holding the line while we continue to charge. And it looks like they held. Maybe we should have sent the Romanians in for that attack. Oh well, can't win them all, guys, but so far I think we're doing okay. Now let's take a look at our cards, and this is something I keep forgetting to use. We promise we're going to remember next time, because we do want to bring in that artillery support. But let's also move up these German divisions from Lublin. So move them here. The 2 PG as well. We want to move them over to Brest, because they're, of course, going to bring in some much-needed supplies. And let's move, I think the general's doing okay, but there are some infantry divisions here, which could probably continue the attack on the enemy. So let's bring them in. We don't want to get the stack past 200. Nice attack. Oh yes, absolutely wonderful. We've got a massive stack here. But they seem to have already moved, although maybe one of these tank divisions can keep on moving. Sure enough, look at that. So we got to make sure we're watching every single one of these units, or else we're not going to be nearly as effective. Those guys have attacked already, so let's go ahead and see if we can get these 2 tanks to attack the Soviet tank division across this very swampy area. Sure enough, we got them to retreat and also have their forces. So I think that's a pretty good compromise. And we can keep on moving, why not? Leaving from Grodno to just see if we can't get one more bit of damage against that Soviet unit. I think we've got enough men to really hurt these guys. So let's go for it. We're going to list our attackers. 1, 2, 3 seems about right. And look at those Soviets retreating as quickly as they can. Of course, we still got some infantry units back here. We want to bring them to Grodno as well. And we'll be bringing them to the front soon. Let's take a look quickly at the the actual ideas here. So they want to convert German locomotives. I think that's probably a good idea. Obviously, we need as much fuel as we can get. So I'm going to say great idea, do it. But we're starting to waste a lot of our political points. So this is going to increase our relationship with Wagner. But overall, we've already got some pretty good relationships with these guys. I'm not messing with scheduling AGN or AGS right now. Very difficult to conduct military operations when we don't have a reliable organization behind us, field the necessary supplies through our frontline troops. Alright, so that's Army Group North, and Army Group South is, of course, beneath us. Army Group Center is really the one we are focusing on, and they're asking for security divisions. Are tasked with security, and they're currently busy mopping up remnant Russian detachments as the main body of the Heer moves eastward. In the capacity, they're performing admirably, but I would give consideration to switching them over to policing and anti-partisan duties. And this is Brauchwitz asking this, so I'm going to switch over immediately, because I do want Brauchwitz to have a good relationship of me. Of course, von Bock is not going to be very happy with that. Of course, we've also got some unexpected fuel usage. Quartermasters in all three theaters have reported unexpectedly high fuel use by our mechanized divisions. Our fuel expenditure is unsustainable. I strongly recommend issuing orders to all mechanized divisions requiring a more measured advance. Let's avoid excessive maneuvering. Try to be careful here. We've also got a tire shortage, and I figure we should go ahead and this time we'll allocate tires to Army Group South. We've really been helping Army Group Center a lot. But what the hell, we'll go ahead and try it out, guys. And of course, they want us to expand the Romanian oil fields. In the event of a prolonged campaign, it would be wise to ensure a secure supply of oil. The Royal Navy is expected to interdict seaborne shipments, which serves to enhance the value of any oil production from Romania. The Ploesti oil fields are currently producing around 13 million a year. Under our agreement with Romania, Germany has a right to half this amount. Oh, yes. Absolutely. We're going to demand maximum outputs from the enemy. Or from our Romanian allies, rather. We want as much oil as we can get from them. Let's also take a look at how our generals see us, the relations. And it looks like so far, good news is Gerke really likes us, but we got to get Wagner on our side. And the only person that doesn't like us is von Rundstedt, who's leading Army Group South, and von Brauchwitz. And von Brauchwitz really needs to be on our good side. He's one of the main commanders, of course. So we're going to go ahead and end the turn, guys, turn it over to the enemy, and let's hope that we made the right decisions here. We'll see what the Soviets do. Don't forget also, guys, to hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and share the videos, please, too. Alright, actually in the north, it looks like they're all retreating to Riga, which is probably a good idea. A lot of movement in the south there. I'm just hoping they don't attack the Romanians. You know, right now the Romanians are doing okay, and I like that. And obviously in the Army Group Center area, where we put a lot or most of our focus, we really want to do well, guys. So let's hope that we do really well. And once again, it looks like the Soviets are going for a retreat to Taranopol and Minsk. A lot of areas of very high importance to us. We've got to grab those zones. That's why you see that little red circle. It's basically an objective that is very, very important to take and would greatly assist us in our national goals. Over here on the Finnish front, we don't really want to do much movement, of course, and it doesn't look like the Russians are doing much movement either, but we might consider pushing up there just a little bit, just to put the Russians even more on the defensive and force them to act. Okay, let's see what we've got here. General von Thomas reports his tour that the 3rd Panzergruppe very tough fighting with Russians, only a few prisoners taken. Well, what else is new? Okay, the Wolf is the only man in the platoon that gets regular use of his bayonet. Whenever we secure an overrun Russian position, the Wolf will systematically move from body to body and stab them in the heart. It would be easy to denounce him for this callousness, but we've lost 2 men to the 2 dead possums already. Had to run a message from the Unteroffizier Sergeant that said that we were 60 kilometers south of Grodno. That's pretty good, but of course, the line is ever changing, and I hope you guys keep supporting this series. Make sure to hit that like button. Have a great day, and thank you guys for watching. Let's hope that the future is good to us.